Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our training tonight. It's going to be a little different than maybe what you're used to. And I'm going to be talking about some things that you can do to build recurring income with PLR. And if you are a user of PLR, if you're not a user of PLR, I'm going to try to give you a little insight on some of the things that we are doing to help people to build their recurring income with PLR. I do want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Charles Harper. I'm married to the great Laurel Harper. She is also creating leadership PLR. I do have two children, and they're both grown, and one's actually back home and getting ready to go to another graduate program. I'm a MACDM at my church, and I have produced over 300 PLR video courses since 2007. Right now, you may have seen our YouTube channel at the YouTube at youtube.com/game mindshare. I don't do a lot on Facebook. So if you have gone to Facebook and you tried to say, well, let me see where this person is on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, I don't necessarily like those platforms. So I don't do a lot with them, and but that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them. I do have my BS in economics, MBA, and there's kind of a story behind my EDD. I'm now in a PhD program, and I will tell you a little bit about the EDD, and I'll tell you about that EDD and instructional technology. I actually went through the entire program for 4 years, 3.5 years. I finished all the coursework in 2007, and then I finished my comprehensive exams in 2008. And then I left my full-time employer in 2009 because they were paying for it. And then I became a full-time freelancer and internet marketer in 2010. And basically, for those of you who have started internet marketing, you know what that means. It basically meant I bought everything and earned nothing, right? So probably for like 2 years, right? 2 or 3 years, I was, this quote unquote, full-time internet marketer, didn't earn anything. And as a result of that, I ran out of money in 2011 and we had to leave the program. Now, the thing about that doctorate, that even though I could have some bad feelings about it, I learned how to use Camtasia, and that was kind of an interesting. So way back when Camtasia was in version number 3, that's when I learned how to use it. And so at that point in 2011, I learned how to create on-screen, over-the-shoulder videos. I just created videos nonstop, like crazy for just about anything. And then I started working for marketers, and they started asking me to create PLR for them. And I was working for them. They were kind of paying me some when they'd make some, but I was basically creating all the videos. And you may have heard my voice, you may have seen some of the work that I've done associated with other people. And I could go to a number of courses. It's not important. I don't do that to say that, but you may have heard my voice and not known it was me because it was somebody else's product. And so from 2013, 2015, I did that. And I went on my own in 2016 and I started using Camtasia. And so I say all that to say that sometimes, when you're talking about internet marketing or just about anything, sometimes the worst things that ever happen to you are the best things that ever happened to you. And probably had I not done that doctoral program, even though I didn't finish, I did learn how to use Camtasia. And Camtasia is really what I've built on ever since that point. That is what I've been building on since that time. And I've done a few things right in terms of the training that I do, because basically what we have been trying to do since we have been training internet marketers to use our PLR, we have basically been talking about trying to help people to educate and to become people that are known in the marketplace for being a solid source of information. And I say that over and over again in everything that I do. And so in 2021, I did a 52-week session, week by week, and I taught week by week. And the idea here was not only to give people an insight on how they could basically be a trainer in their market, but also to give them PLR to use. And so it was made to be a weekly workshop, and it was designed to diagnose anything in terms of marketing, in terms of marketing progress. So that 52-week session, you can probably still get it. I don't really have a link to it because I'm not trying to sell you on getting our 52-week session. It's progressive, and so it builds every week. It does something different every week, but it's really designed to build on an initial concept, an initial set of 12 principles. And each week allows you to sell different PLR products. And so out of all the things that I've done, I've done year-long things twice since I've been involved. I did a 30-day challenge and I did something really long, and I've done this. This is the one that I'm most proud of because it allows you to sell different products if you do the workshops that I really set up for you. And each week is principle based, so it's not tactics. So it's all evergreen. It's all based on marketing principles and positioning principles and 12 fundamentals. And I think I've spelled those 12 things out elsewhere, probably even this week, and I'm not going to go back into them. And so I did that 3 or 4 times over during the 52 weeks. And it basically includes all of the marketing foundations that you need in order to diagnose any marketing problem. And so you'll know how to use a USP, you know how to do an upsell and cross sell, you know how to do list building, and then you know how to partner. Now, I will say this, that because I'm a PLR guy, when I did this, I didn't see people put it all together, right? And so that was one of the things that I really wished I could have seen. And it was really kind of my fault because at some point I decided, okay, this is going to be PLR, and I want to make sure that people are going to have something usable. And so when I taught it with a mindset that people were going to take it, reuse it, and put it in their business. And so I didn't teach it with this in mind, that I wanted people to be able to implement it, right? So that was always the idea. It was always the idea so that, let's say that somebody could not necessarily do coaching with us, and we do coaching with people in our insider program as well as outsider insider program. And I wanted to say, okay, what if somebody wanted to do coaching? What would I tell them if, let's say, they didn't have the money to do the coaching? Well, this was that program. And so I taught that over the course of 52 weeks, but I did not really try to get people to hold themselves accountable. And so I didn't even see people teaching it. And so that was part of the idea behind the 52-week program too, is not just to sell it, right? The design of it was so that people could teach. And so that in teaching, you would have a platform to make offers of all the PLR products. So it was part of the glue for all of our products. It was designed to be glue, and the linchpin was that you, the user, would get out not only and sell it, but also to teach it to your customers, to teach it to your prospects, to teach it to your members, and then you'd have opportunities to sell, more of our courses. And so I didn't see people implementing it also. And so it was also designed so that each of those principles would be something that you implement. So again, and understand something when I tell you this, I'm not trying to sell you to go get it. A lot of you already have it. If you're an Ultimate Insider, you already have it. If you're not, you may have seen it as a bump offer and you probably haven't, maybe even wondered what it is, but it's really designed for you to not only implement, it's designed for you to teach it, and designed for you to sell it. And by doing that, you will have the opportunity to sell all of the other PLR offers that we do, because all of the principles really give you and put you in front of an audience that make them ready to hear about the things that we have in the PLR courses that we already have. I did see people use it as PLR, and I'm happy about that, right? Anytime I see, and I go to the internet and I see my principles, or I hear my voice, or I see people in their own voice reteaching what I've done, I get I get a lot of satisfaction for that. I'll be quite honest with you. It takes everything in me not to click like on something that I see somebody doing, because I don't want people to know that I'm associated with it. But I get a lot of satisfaction from seeing people actually doing all those things and teaching it and actually selling it. I did see people doing some teaching with it, right? I've seen people recently doing a little bit of teaching, not extensively, but again, I've seen people actually teaching it. And so the real design of the whole program was that it would be used in order to build a brand. Whether you're going to use it to build your customer's brand, or you're going to use it to build your own brand. And honestly, the best way to use that 52-week session is to first go through it yourself, customize it with your own use, and then while you're doing it, to teach it to your customers. I probably didn't make that clear. So the basis of the whole program, right? I mean, trust me, It takes a lot. It takes a lot to do that over the 52 weeks. And again, um, the whole design was for it to be an all-in-one program for you to be able to use it, teach it, and implement it in your own business. Now, here's the thing, and why what I'm doing is unique. So it's not just that I'm teaching your customer, or you if you're taking it, internet marketing as you stand, as it stands. I don't just teach internet marketing. I'm teaching you how to do it from the perspective of going into a market and being an educator or a teacher, right? I'm not saying that you have to have a PhD or anything like that, but I'm saying that if you will enter a market and decide to be a solid source of information, that's something I and uniquely feel like if you can take that position, and anybody can, that you will set yourself apart in the marketplace, and you'll almost do it by accident even without even trying. And one of the things about doing it as a teacher, I don't know if you found this. I've found this. Sometimes if you go on social media, you might see people and you might think, well, you know what? I'm not really all that witty. And the people that witty get a lot of attention. I'm not necessarily all that, savvy with being a philosopher. It seems like those people get a lot of attention. I'm not necessarily rude. People like that get a lot of attention, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that in terms of marketer, but I'm no good at it, right? I can't say that I've tried it, but in trying to be rude and trying to be outspoken and trying to be this big dramatic personality, well, that didn't work for me. And there are a lot of people I've found that doesn't work for them either. Not only do you not motivate to be that person, but it doesn't work for you. You might try it, right? You might have tried to be witty and funny and all those other things. You might say, well, man, that's not necessarily getting people to like me more to the point where they want to buy stuff from me. And so that's really why I've kind of taken the position that I'm just going to be a solid source of information. And I want to show people, specifically our ultimate insiders, how to be inside of any market and not to be a big personality, not to be, rude and big and outspoken. Again, I'm not saying anything about, about people who have that business model. I'm just saying if you don't want to be that person, you don't have to be in order to get the attention that you need in order to build a following online. And so how are you going to have this teacher's business? That's really what I wanted to teach people. And so I knew the first thing I had to do, I didn't know this, I discovered this. I had to settle, believe it or not, it almost sounds like a disconnect. I had to settle the page issue. So I had to settle how my pages were going to look, and I could be confident in making sure I could do the same thing every time. I had to settle how my stuff looked. So in other words, I had to settle down and get to a point where I had a consistent look inside of my members area. We have gone over to Teachable, and Teachable is not perfect, but for a teacher, people can not only stream the videos, they can download the videos, and also if anything were to happen to me, right? Here's the thing. Now, Teachable is venture funded, so if anything were to happen to me, I get hit by a bus, I go to meet my maker. Uh, your course, your PLR is still going to be inside of Teachable. And so that's really one of the reasons why I like having it there, because it's really for the people that buy stuff from us. And yeah, you know what? I know that, if you paid $9, $10, you shouldn't expect to have something forever, but that's something that I want. I wanted something for our customers so that if they decide, 5 years from now and I'm not around, right? Maybe I decide I'm going to go and, follow my PhD dreams. That course is still going to be there, but I have to settle that, right? And I have to settle how my stuff looked. I had to settle the platform. And so I personally settled where I wanted to position myself in the marketplace. Again, I don't I don't come off as, you know, super smart and super witty and all those things. And I don't do a good job of that. So I had to figure out, well, where do I fit in the marketplace? I also had to figure out what I wanted to deliver. I don't necessarily want to tell people that they're going to get rich tomorrow, right? And so a lot of the people that end up being our ultimate insiders buying our content, I took all that copy off of my sales page. So if you've bought anything of ours, you may have not noticed, or you may have not even processed it. I don't have get rich quick sales copy on there for a lot of reasons. And I really don't want to attract a person. And this may sound weird. You may say, well, You ought to want buyers regardless of who they are. I don't. And so that was a positioning issue. I'd rather try to find people who are like you, who are on this call. And if I had to bet, if I had to guess, you're not a get rich quick person because there'd be no way I could have attracted you. That my copy doesn't convert with people who send it out telling people they're going to get rich tomorrow. So again, I had a good idea of where I wanted to position myself, but I had to settle that. I had to decide, okay, you know what? I'm not going to try to get the make money online, get rich tomorrow customer. And again, I sacrifice all that. I'm willing to sacrifice all that for the sake of positioning. But I had to settle that. I had to personally settle the fact that I was going to teach. Right? It was a personal decision. I had to settle the focus issue. What am I trying to do every day? Whether or not I'm trying to build and sell PLR. Am I just trying to sell PLR? Am I just going to be like all the other PLR creators? Am I going to try to sell PLR just like them? Am I going to just be another PLR creator? But I had to settle what I was trying to do to help the people that were buying our content. I had to settle that, just like you're going to have to settle it for your customers. And I know that what I wanted to help people do is to be intentional about continuity, to be intentional about recurring income. And that has been my focus since 2020, since I got started. And I really, I mean, if you have seen our Ultimate Insiders, you've been inside of our group, I'm preaching about being intentional about continuity. Because as I said the other night on a call, there's really no other reason to be in this business. There's no other reason to do internet marketing, folks, and you just have to trust me on this. Um, there are a lot easier ways to make money than doing what we do as internet marketers. A lot easier, and all of those ways will trump trying to get a customer one at a time every single time you try to sell something. So if you're trying to get a course, you're trying to go out and sell individual courses, I guarantee you, even if you're allowed to make a lot of money with every launch you do, doing a launch is like putting on a Hollywood production every single, if you're doing it once a month, you're putting on a Hollywood production once a month. It's exhausting. And so the only way to work around that is that you're going to have to focus on being intentional about continuity. And I'm here to help our Ultimate Insiders and you, if you're willing to come with me, to do the very same thing. And so that's really what I'm trying to help Ultimate Insiders to do. I'm trying to help people to be intentional about continuity. And so how do we do that? We make sure that they've got a platform. So we give Ultimate Insiders a platform to host their videos. I was talking to a good friend of mine today who and we were talking, and I probably have not made made it clear that, listen, our platform allows you to host your videos. It allows you to build your sales pages. So you can build your sales pages there. It allows you to deliver your own products, right? So it doesn't matter if you don't want to do a video product. If you want to do more than that, you can also deliver your products on the platform that we give our Ultimate Insiders. And so I want people who are inside of our group to build the kind of membership that allows you to be credible as a teacher. How do you do that? You've got to have solid content in your membership. And you've got to have the kind of content that keeps business people coming back because of what they're going to learn. And so you got to keep adding good content to it. And so I make sure that, yes, I give people kind of content once a month, but I also make sure that anything they miss, right? Anything that I might do 3, sometimes 4 titles in a month. And so if somebody wants that and they're in their inside group, they're going to get that 50% off the original price. What that means then is typically they're paying $3.50 and our list price is $27, right? So I make sure that they've got the proper training. And I make sure that, at least as of right now, they're going to be able to implement those 52 weeks. Well, we're starting in another week, starting next week with our Ultimate Insiders is going to implement the 52-week plan. Implement. So if somebody wants the PLR and they just want to sell it, they want to teach it, that's fine. I've already done it, right? So if you say, well, I don't need you to teach me, Charles. You don't have to hold me accountable to nobody. That's fine. I say just get the PLR and go for it. But if you're like me, and I'll tell you, I have a coach. I have 2. And one of the things that I can do and I can help you to do is help you to be held accountable to yourself. Is to get you, and it's a process, right? I had to learn how to do this to get you to be held accountable to your goals, right? So I'm not going to be like, did you do this? I'm not going to be calling you up being your pen pal. I don't have to do that. Once you learn the process, you can actually do this for your customers, is to get them to hold themselves accountable to their goal. And that's really what we're going to be doing starting next week, right, with our Ultimate Insiders. And to implement the launch process also, because sometimes while you're building a brand, you need to be able to generate cash. And so I know a lot of people who say they look at the Warrior Plus network, they look at JVZoo, they look at ClickBank, and they say, I don't want to be bothered with all that stuff. That's all get rich quick. Doesn't have to be, right? And so I'm going to show people how to dip their toe in to do a launch. And then if you're an Ultimate Insider, I'm going to give you launch support. So let's say that you've got a business related course because you've got a need, you got to put some cash together. I can push your launch to our customer base. I will be able to verify that your product is a good one. And then you and I are going to work together to make sure that you've got something. And again, you don't have to build your business here. You don't have to be a PLR creator. You don't have to be in the make money online market. This is really designed so once you learn the launch process, it is a transferable skill. You can do it anywhere. People who have gone through JVZoo Warrior Plus, it's not just that they learned the launch process and how to market to marketers, because trying to sell to internet marketers is harder than anything else because it's so competitive and we're so skeptical. On the other side, once you do this, you only have to learn it once. Once you understand the launch process, you can go do that you can go do it any place, in any market, in any niche. I encourage people to do a launch on Warrior Plus JVZoo. I encourage people to do a launch on ClickBank. Why? One of those networks. To go through recruiting affiliates, right? To go through the process of asking people to promote and have them turn you down. To go through the process of having people approach you about a launch they're doing and not being willing to do anything for you. To go through that entire process, because once you understand it and you go through this process, well, you say, well, I don't want to do it on JVZoo. It's not the point. The point is what you learn, right? I think it was Robert Kiyosaki said, you don't take a job for what you're going to make from it. You take a job for what you're going to learn. And I think the same thing is true as once you do a launch of Warrior Plus JVZoo, you do it sometimes because of what you're going to learn. If you learn this launch process, you can go to your local market. You can go to do it on e-commerce. You can do it any place once you learn the process. I'm going to make sure they know the MMO process, non-MMO, and then provide launch support. And so the goal is really to implement the platform too. So I'm giving the platform, but it's also to implement the platform. I do want to talk a little bit about what's available if you're not an Ultimate Insider in 2023. Starting in August, I'm going to be doing Academy Boss Interactive, Training Boss Interactive, PLR Boss Interactive, and then we're going to make all of our PLR courses available. Now the regular price of all our PLR courses is $27. The tutorial masterclass is $47. DFY Live Masterclass is $37. But now I cannot give you the platform because I don't sell our platform. So I know other people, they sell it. I'm not in the platform business, right? I don't, I'm not in the software business. It's not a big secret that I give people a gold high level sub account as to be an Ultimate Insider. And that's as a courtesy, because I know that if I make sure that you've got a platform where you can host your videos, you're more likely to build a library. You're more likely to build a recurring offer. And so that's just my way of helping our customers, right? People who are committing to me, I'm committing to you to help you to do whatever I can so that you can build a library to get recurring income. And so I don't provide launch support outside of Ultimate Insiders. Again, it's really because I've only got a limited amount of bandwidth, right? So I can only I can help our members. I had a gentleman write in today, and he said to me, he said, now I really don't get all this internet marketing stuff. And so what I agreed to do was I agreed to cover his question on Saturday, right? Because I can't I can't take up an Ultimate Insider's time. All my week is available. So, anytime an Ultimate Insider writes me, um, I'm available, right? Support request goes in, they go to the top of the queue, and it's because they've committed to me. I make sure I'm fully available, fully present when I'm answering their questions. So sometimes I'll wait a day or so when Ultimate Insider writes me. It's so that when I sit down to answer their question in support, I want to be fully present. I don't want any distractions. I don't want to be distracted by Facebook, trying to get my launch done. I want to be right there for their questions. So it's kind of a benefit that both my wife and we are fully present for our Ultimate Insiders. So all that's going to be available. If you're not an Ultimate Insider, you'll be able to get access to all those courses. Naturally, all those courses are going to be free to Ultimate Insiders, but if you decide, okay, well, I don't want to be an Ultimate Insider right now, I'm not trying to pay monthly, I don't want to do all that stuff, you will be able to get access to these courses. And I will teach you and I will train you. And it will be and those are the prices right now. If you get all of these things when we launch, they're always going to be lower. So for example, we just did system.io. If you get it at the launch price, then you can get it you get about $9, right? Our front end courses, and that does require that you kind of stay dialed in on our list, stay dialed in to when we're writing emails. I want you to be able to stay dialed in. So yes, you always pay a lower price if you get it at the launch price, but these are the regular prices that you're seeing here, right? This live course that I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be showing people how to implement the 52 weeks, how to build a platform, how to position themselves as an educator. $97 is very low, right, for what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be teaching people, because it's really right out of my experience that I'm going to be sharing with you. So just so that you'll know, again, you may not necessarily be ready, or you don't feel like, oh, I don't want to be an Ultimate Insider right now. That's fine. You'll still be able to participate in all of these things at that rate. And so what I would encourage you to do, again, because just about all of these things are going to be available, is to try it. So I do want to tell you about when I'm making available to Ultimate Insiders starting in August. They're going to get the Academy Boss Interactive, but they're not going to pay. You're not going to pay for Training Boss. You're not going to pay for PLR Boss Live. So I'm going to teach Ultimate Insiders how to launch JVZoo Warrior Plus. I'm going to teach Ultimate Insiders how to build their business and be a teacher. I'm going to teach Ultimate Insiders how to build the platform, how to use that platform as a user. Right now, I will say, of course, all of our PLR courses are going to be available. Again, the regular price is $27. The tutorial masterclass is $47, $37. But Ultimate Insiders typically pay $3.50, $8.50, and then $13, right? So, also Ultimate email coaching, and then the new marketer workshop tutorials, all of those are available. So I would encourage you, and I'm going to pull over to my slide. I'm going to skip one slide here. Actually, no, let's go ahead. I will tell you about something that we're doing called All Access, and here's what I did. I basically said, well, if a person was an Ultimate Insider for a year, and then I were to give them the insider price, right? So if you pay the Ultimate Insider price all at once, I give you the insider price, what would that be? What would that look like? Basically, what that would look like is our all access. That would be 12 months. You get all of the stuff, and then you'll get you'll be able to get the insider rate on all of our courses, right? Basically. And so I do want to make that available to you. I would say that the best way to do this, though, is to become and join monthly, right? So you can do that at the plrshow.com/insiders. Once you get inside, I encourage you to sign up for your onboarding call. I would say sign up for a promotional interview. Let me promote you. I'm doing a podcast now. Sign up to set up your platform, and then add in this month's PLR to your account, and then get this month's bonus title at the end of the month. You can do that at the plrshow.com/insiders. Okay. So now, are there any questions? Let's see. Kia is asking, what's the difference between the basic tutorial and the DFY Live Masterclass? Okay, so the DFY Live Masterclass is designed for you to be able to teach somebody live. It's a workshop. So now it does have unrestricted rights. So you could take it, you could put it on YouTube, you could play it, you could put it on Facebook, you could sell it as a bonus. You can use it however you want. Our basic tutorials come with resale rights. So that allows you to resell them, but you can't use them as PLR. You can't use them as a bonus. You can't use them because I want to retain the value of the tutorials. The DFY Live Masterclass is flexible. It's designed to give you something that you can use however you want. So some people use it as a bonus. Some people use it as a part of the course. Some people use it as an upsell. It's very flexible. So there's the resale rights portion, and then there is the DFY Live Masterclass. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you for your question there, Kia. Any questions? Okay, so as I said, this is a little different in terms of training. It's less of a training. And if you're not an Ultimate Insider, I really want to encourage you to become one. I see some of our Ultimate Insiders here, so I appreciate that. But mostly, this is primarily not for our Insider members. It's for people who are not yet Ultimate Insiders. And I want to encourage you to sign up here at plrshow.com/insiders. And so it is about 8:30, and I typically try to keep you about 30 minutes. I try not to keep you longer than 30 minutes, but sometimes I go a little bit over, but so that's what I did today. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you all hanging out with me here. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.